Hi folks, welcome back to another Mad Merlins unboxing. So, a year ago I picked up a game that was a nice hit of nostalgia for me. For those of you who grew up in the 90s, there was an awesome Disney cartoon that told the story of a group of creatures cursed to stone for 1,000 years until their castle was brought above the clouds. And then the spell was broken and they became the defenders of New York City, known as the Gargoyles. So yeah, I picked this up, like I said, a year or so ago. It's Ravensburger's Gargoyles game, and it's the Awakening. So this is the first game. I think they were planning to do a series, but this effectively takes, I think, the first 4 episodes of the TV series and turns it into a nice little tabletop game with some cool 3D elements of terrain, and of course 3D characters for each of the gargoyles, plus their human ally Elisa. So yeah, pretty cool. Kind of wish there was 3D elements for the bad guys, but we just have a standee there for the evil Demona. Yeah, let's have a look at this and see how it plays, and then I will be doing I'll have a playthrough of the first mission on my own, and I might film a second playthrough just so you guys can get a sense of how it plays, and I'll give you a few final thoughts of it as well in that separate video. So, before we jump over the table, don't forget to, of course, click that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it doesn't take too long, just like 1 second each button. So yeah, just click the like, click the subscribe, it helps the channel grow. If you want to do a little bit, take some time out of your day, drop a comment down below. What are your favourite memories of the Gargoyles series? And did you grow up watching this show as a kid, much like myself? Finally, don't forget to check all the links in the video description down below, including the Mad Merlins Patreon. So, with that out of the way, let's awaken and open up this box. So here we are with the box, and it's a beautiful box. So at the front here we have a picture of the Gargoyles. So we got Brooklyn, Lexington, Goliath, Brooklyn, and Hudson, plus their faithful hound there, Bronx. Then we got little pictures up here of the 2 villains. So Demona, who is herself a gargoyle, but believes that they should be ruling the humans as opposed to serving them and protecting them. And we have the evil genius / multi-millionaire who's responsible for breaking the curse, the slightly twisted Xanatos there. So a beautiful game set in New York, set ideal for ages 10 plus and for 2 to 5 players. So you'll need 1 person to play as the villains, and then you can have up to 5 different gargoyle players active at one time. But we have 6 different characters there to play. So you got Lexington, Goliath, Brooklyn, Hudson, and Broadway. Plus you also have their human ally Elisa Maza there. So she's a police officer who was one of the first to discover the Gargoyles' awakening in New York, after parts of the building that they were on decided to fall down and almost crush passers-by along the New York high streets. So yeah, looks like a good game. So we've got a little bit of flavor text here. So, stone by day, warriors by night, we are gargoyles. work together as Goliath, Brooklyn, Broadway, Lexington, Hudson, and Elisa to protect Manhattan from Xanatos and Demona in 4 different episodes. Information warfare, temptation and magic, reawakening, or battle with the Steel Clan. So yeah, looks good. We got some nice punch-out buildings there to help with 3D elements of the game. We of course have the missions nicely detailed on a separate card. That's pretty handy instead of flicking through a book. We got decks of cards for each of the different gargoyles, which is again pretty cool. It shows that we're going to have evolving abilities throughout the game. We use special 6-sided dice, looks like it. And then we got a tracker, which I believe is from night till day. So you've got to try and complete the missions before the sun rises and you are turned to stone. All the exception of Elisa, of course. And we've got various tokens and stuff as well for different game features. So, right, let's open her up. So, there's that beautiful stonework effect box lid. We'll remove that. And we have the instructions, and we even have the beautiful introduction to the TV series there as well. So, 1,000 years ago, superstition and a sword ruled. It was a time of darkness. It was a world of fear. It was the age of gargoyles. Stone by day, warriors by night. We were betrayed by the humans we had sworn to protect, frozen in stone by a magic spell for 1,000 years. Now, here in Manhattan, the spell is broken, and we live again! Ooh, gave himself goosebumps. But yeah, pretty cool. So at the top it says ages 10 plus again, 2 to 5 players, and 45 to 60 minutes to play through the issue, each mission. So we got an example of a setup there. We got the different components. So we get a game board, 3 city buildings, a police clock tower building, the Eyrie building, 6 hero cards, 6 hero figures, 60 hero cards, 10 per hero, 18 minion tokens, 10 skill tokens, 3 data disc tokens, 1 Grimorium Arcanorium token, 1 Eye of Odin token, 5 custom dice, a villain health tracker, 8 health tracker clips, 2 villain standees, 40 villain cards, 4 episode cards, and this rule booklet. So it goes through how to set the game up. So setting up the board, playing through the Awakening game. You got your different phases. So you got your hero phase where the heroes take their actions. And then we got the villain phase where the villains take their actions. Then we got overviews here of the different missions. So the first episode, which is I think a 5-parter, pretty extensive for a cartoon of the times. 5-part exclusive episode. But yeah, this gives the background story in the cartoon of the gargoyles, them being brought to modern day, for 1993 modern day New York, and their first adventures out into a modern world. And then we got a couple more episodes there. So Temptation and Magic, Information Warfare, and Battle with the Steel Clan, which are the evil cyborg gargoyles created by Xanatos. And finally, we got construction on how to build the buildings. So they are just push-fit little buildings. They just clip together. So you can take them apart and store them safely outside of play. And a quick reference guide there, plus some items, dice icons. So we got blank, hit damage, and activate special abilities. So we got our board there. We'll fold that out in just a sec. We've got our buildings to punch out there. We got the bag of villain tokens and item tokens there. More components of the buildings. Then we got our big cards, so our character cards, episode cards, and our tracker. Then we got our decks, so we got our hero cards and our villain cards there. Our baggie of figures, we'll take a close look at those, but from first glance, they look pretty cool. Need some mould lines cleaned up there on Hudson, but other than that, they do look pretty good characters. We'll take a close look, as I said. A couple of standees for our villains that need standees. Exclusive dice there. And health trackers for all our boards. That's it. Everything is out. Just check. No, nothing underneath. Love the retro TV effect. So you got a remote down there. You got a classic TV with a black and white picture there of the gargoyles. So yeah, very reminiscent of Hudson's room there, where he likes to sit and watch his favourite shows on the telly. Pretty cool. Right, where do we start then? I think we'll start with the card components, then we'll look at the buildings and the board, and finish off with the figures. Right, here we have all the card components. So we got our decks here, and we got lovely easy open tabs and strips. So you can just easily open these up, and they seem about generic card game size. So yeah, they should fit most sleeves, which should be pretty easy to cover. Which I'll probably definitely be doing to help keep them well protected and continued use. So yeah, we got our villain cards there as well. So I don't know if we got, yes, there is different backs. So we got Demona and her biker gangs, and we got Xanatos and the Steel Clan, plus Xanatos' technology there as well. So yeah, we'll have a closer look at those, of course. We also have our tokens here, so take these out. These, I believe, are the condition and health markers, I think. I'll look in that in the rulebook. We got our data disk, another throwback. Remember a time when the fate of the world was hinged on a floppy disk? Yeah, that was this time. So we got little floppy disk tokens to do with for one of the missions. We've got our two villains. So we've got Demona with her ray gun there, and nicely printed double-sided tokens. Come on, camera, focus. Doesn't want to focus. And that's about as good as they're going to get. But yeah, nicely done, nice detail. And we have Xanatos there as well in his armor based on Goliath. Pretty cool. Yeah, they'll come in handy for representing the bad guys. And then we have generic villain tokens. So we've got Biker Gang here, Steel Clan, and I believe this is one of the specific character gargoyles. He was damaged and repaired with Xanatos' technology. Another token there, looks like that's possessed Goliath. And yeah, pretty cool. So double-sided, red side and a coloured side. Yeah. We got the Grimoire there. The Eye of Odin, which was part of, I believe, Series 2's storyline, not sure. Or possibly early Series 1. But yeah, pretty cool tokens. Right, move those out of the way, and we'll take a look through the boards. So we'll take these out. What we'll do is I will divide up all the decks, and we'll look at each character individually. So take everything out. So we've got our villain health tracker there. So it starts off at 20, goes all the way down to 0. Yeah, pretty cool. Fairly flimsy, but I suppose it's ideally made so that clips can go around it to keep track, which is handy. And then we got our character cards, a little bit thicker than the bookmark style health tracker there. And then we got our missions. So Coldstone, there we go, that's the token, the character. So Xanatos and Coldstone can fly here. So the win and lose conditions. So you win, defeat Xanatos and Demona, and have Coldstone flipped to his blue side. So yeah, he's got two different sides. Red side, which is his evil side, and the blue side there, which is his human side, gargoyle side. Lose, any hero is defeated. So daytime, Xanatos activates move 3, attack 4, Demona heals 4, Coldstone red activates blue, flip to his red side, shuffle the villain deck, discard pile into the deck. Then we got the components, so reawakening villain cards and villain health tracker, Xanatos, Demona and Coldstone tokens, and where they start, and the hero starting area around the police tower there. And we've got the same here again, information warfare, so win, all 3 data discs are taken to the clock tower. Lose, any heroes defeated or all 3 data discs are at the Eyrie building. So rules, Xanatos or the Steel Clan activate, they will move towards and attack the nearest hero. Xanatos and Steel Clan can fly. If Xanatos defeated, place him at the Eyrie building and heal him to 5 health. The villain action phase is skipped that turn. Daytime abilities, so Xanatos move 4 spaces towards the nearest data disk. If Xanatos lands on a data disk, he stops and moves it 2 spaces towards the Eyrie building. Place 3 new Steel Clan tokens on the Eyrie building and shuffle the villain discard pile into the deck. So components, information warfare, villain cards, villain health tracker, setup, so Xanatos with 5 health, 8 Steel Clan tokens for starting off, the Eye of Odin and the 3 data discs scattered across the map there. We got Temptation Magic, so win, you defeat Demona. Lose, any hero is defeated. Rules. While the Enslaved is in play, Demona does not take any damage. Demona will drop the Grimorum Arcanorum on her space if a damage is rolled when she is attacked. While a hero has the Grimorum Arcanorum, any hero attacking the Enslaved gets the ability to add skill to the Enslaved. If the Enslaved has 3 skill tokens, free the Enslaved and remove it and the Grimorium from the game. When the Enslaved activates, it moves towards and attacks the hero closest to Demona. When Demona activates, she moves to the indicated space and attacks closest hero. So daytime effects, if Demona does not control the Grimorium, she steals it, place it on this play card. Demona heals 5 and shuffle the villain discard pile into the deck. And then we have spell effects. So spell 1, no additional effects, but 2 tokens, deal 2 damage. 3, deal 1 damage to each hero, and 4, before Demona attacks, deal 2 damage to each hero. When all 4 spells have been resolved, reshuffle all spell cards into the villain deck. Then we have the components, so the Temptation and Magic deck, the Villain Health Tracker, Demona Standee with 10 health, 8 Biker tokens, 4 set up here, the Enslaved Goliath token, and then the Grimorium, which is held by Demona there. Finally then, battle with the Steel Clan, so you win by defeating Xanatos. Villains will win if any hero is defeated, or Xanatos and 1 Steel Clan, or 2 Steel Clan, are out on the clock tower. So rules, battle with the Steel Clan is a unique mission where the player controls Xanatos and his Steel Clan army against the heroes. This villain player has a hand of 2 villain cards during the villain phase. If it's daytime, they choose 1 to play, resolve it, and draw a new one. Xanatos and the Steel Clan can fly. When Xanatos or the Steel Clan activate, the player controlling them decides where they move and who they attack. Daytime, discard any number of cards from your hand, place a new Steel Clan on the Eyrie building for each hero in play, Xanatos heals 3, and shuffle the villain discard pile into the deck. Components: the Battle with Steel Clan villain cards, villain health tracker, standee for Xanatos with 20 health, 8 Steel Clan tokens, and the Eye of Odin again. So yeah, that's our missions. Pretty cool. Can't wait to play through these. And then we have our hero card. So right, I'm going to go divide these up and we'll take a look at each character in turn. So we'll start with on top, and the on top was Elisa Maza. So she has 3 actions, moves 3 squares, can't glide, has 2 attack dice, has a health pool of 6. So she has a special, has a range of 3 while using her basic attack, as she has a gun. You may move up to 2 spaces for free after attacking, and you got a special ability. After a hero has rolled for an attack, you may reroll any number of dice once for that attack before damage is dealt. Then her daytime ability, she can discard any number of cards from her hand, reshuffle her discard pile into her deck, draw until she has 3, heal 2, and gain a skill token. And we just got the the Elisa back there, so pretty cool. Word of caution, the cards with Elisa and Brooklyn here are very identical. Elisa is a little brighter up here, but when I was dividing up the cards, I was looking just at that side, and yeah, that does blend in quite well. So be careful if you do mix these cards up. So let's have a look at Elisa's card. So she has attack on the run, catch a ride, defensive position, critical hit, hurry, trip, retreat, aim, trustworthy human, and volley. So yeah, each one's got its own special abilities. So yeah, one action and has set amount for each of the different activation abilities there. Pretty cool. Next up on the pile then is Goliath, the leader of Clan Wyvern. So he has 3 actions, 2 move, can glide 4 spaces, attacks 3, has 8 health. So if he rolls a special, you'll roll any lightnings you roll may change to hits. Then for a special token there, the active hero gets +2 strength up to a maximum of strength 5 for a single attack. His daytime abilities: discard any number of cards from hand, reshuffle discard pile into deck, draw until you have 3 cards, and heals 3 health. And his cards, he has Shred, Climb, Aerial Strike there, Into the Fray, Slam, Superhero Landing, Powerful Strike, Surprise, Growl, Heroic Charge, and Finishing Blow. So yeah, that's Goliath. Up next then is Broadway. He's a tank of the gang here. So 9 health, 3 actions, moves 2, glides 4, 2 attack. He can, for a special, he can choose to heal 1 and choose a hero to heal 2 there. So he's pretty defensive. Daytime, discard any number of cards, reshuffle discard pile, draw until you have 3, and you heal 3. And his cards, he has Swap, so swap places with another hero, and that hero heals 2, so that's pretty cool. Got Climb again, Pounce, Surprise, Air Stomp, Grapple, Growl, Rescue, Crush, and Big Heart. Yeah, he's a very kindly guy. So yeah, we've got a couple of cards that are going to be identical, I guess, between each character, because they are just generic cards, and each one gains benefit there of Bronx. So yeah, pretty cool. So that's Broadway. And next up is Brooklyn. So yeah, bit of a hothead Brooklyn. He's young, impetuous, but does mean well. So he has 3 actions, 3 movement, 5 glide, and 2 attack. Has a health pool of 7. So his special abilities, he can move one hero up to 2 spaces, and the active hero may move 2 additional spaces. His daytime abilities, discarding a number of cards, reshuffle his discard pile, draw until he has 3, and heals 3. So we have Decoy, so yeah, very tactical. Climb again, Dodge, Directing Strike, Tail Whip, Toss, Teamwork, Motorcycle from the episode where he steals and fixes up a motorcycle, goes for a joyride, Planning, as he was the tactical genius of the group, and Frenzy. So yeah, that's Brooklyn. Moving on then, we have Hudson, the oldest member of the group. So he has 3 actions, 2 move, 4 glide, 3 attack. He has a health of 8. So his specials, choose a hero to draw 1 card. The active hero may draw 2 cards. And his daytime abilities, much the same as we've seen on the others. So discard any number of cards, reshuffle your discard, draw until you have 3 cards, and then heal 3. Yeah. And his ability cards, so he has Combo Strike, the only gargoyle who actually uses a weapon there. Combo Strike again, so you've got 2 copies of Combo Strike. Climb, Call Bronx, Parry, Air Lunge, Riposte, Slice, Too Old for This, and Wisdom of Experience. So yeah, I think I kind of like Hudson as a character. Not my favoritist of characters. I think that is actually probably our last character to look at. So yeah, there's Hudson. And finally, we have the youngest gargoyle in the group, and that is Lexington. So yeah, he's like Brooklyn, he's young, he wants to do well, but in trying to do well, he often gets into trouble. So he has the lowest health out of all the gargoyles with only 6. He has 4 actions though, so his youth has a benefit. He can move 3 squares, can glide 5, can attack with 2. So his specials, he can choose a hero to gain a skill token, and the active hero gains 1 action point. Then his daytime is the same as all our others, so discard any number of cards, reshuffle deck, draw until you have 3, or heal 3. And then we have his cards. So I believe it's actually Lexington who fixed up the bike for Brooklyn. He's pretty intelligent for the gargoyles. He takes to the modern day world quite easily. So yeah, we have Climb again, Dive, Hack. So yeah, he was, as I said, very intelligent. He was the computer genius of the group. Nimble, so yeah, he can dodge it out of the way quite well. We got Bronx card there with Guard. He can roll out the way. He has Intuition. He's a Spy, which he does do. His small size allows him to get to places and observe quite easily. He can set a trap, and he's a Tinkerer. So yeah, that's definitely my favourite of them, Lexington there. So moving on, we'll take a look then at the 4 different villain decks. So we'll just quickly go through these. We'll start, of course, with the big bad Xanatos deck here. So we got the Steel Clan Strike. We got 2 copies of Focused Strike, where they're picking off the weakest member. We got Laser Barrage from Xanatos there. Fly High. Electrical Defense. Another Focused Strike. Checkmate, as Xanatos was always playing the long game. And the Search Pattern. Then we have Demona's deck, which I think is slightly bigger than the others. So we've got Vengeance, which Demona was driven pretty much by vengeance. She sees Goliath as a weakling, and that, yeah, the gargoyle should be ruling over the humans. She was very book-wise. She loved delving into sorcery. It was, of course, spoiler alert, her who turned the clan to stone for 1,000 years. She's deceptive with deception there, so she's got the biker gang ruckus, 1, 2, 3 cards of those. She's got trickery there, wrath, magical command, and then she's got the different spell cards. So that's why her deck is a little bigger. She has the different spell cards. So yeah, when you draw it, you place this card on the episode card, activate the enslaved, then activate Demona. Demona gets the bonus listed based on the number of spells on the play card for this attack. So yeah, each of these different spells that she can do. So Sin Dubio Instantatum. Oh, they're all the same. That's annoying. I thought that each one would be like a different spell. That would have been really cool. Yeah, that's Demona's deck. Then we have Coldstone's deck. So Kindred Fury. Flashback, so he was plagued by flashbacks of his time as a gargoyle. Assault Synergy, Tactical Retreat, Cold Fury, Targeted Barrage, Lash Out, Spiraling Forts, and Flashback again. And finally then we got our technical deck. So we got the Steel Clan again, 2 copies of. Objective Locked, Laser Blast, Schemes within Schemes. So yeah, Xanatos was always making schemes. Another scheme within schemes. So you got G7 and C3. So I'm guessing that is different board zones. Robosuit Combat, Shadowy Research, and Contingency Plan. So yeah, Xanatos was always planning, always tricking. He had, as it says, schemes within schemes, and he was always trying to keep one step ahead of the gargoyles. Right then, let's take a look at the card components for the board and the buildings. So here we have the larger components for the buildings. So I'll just open these up. So yeah, pretty thick card, which is good. And yeah, we've got each one has different numbers located to it. So 2 for green, 2 for purple, 3 for red, 4 for blue. So 1, 2, and 4 there for blue, and 7 there's yellow. We got number 1 for the yellow-orange sort of cadet building. Purple, quite a few bits for the red buildings there. Yeah, I won't build these up just yet. I'll put them together when I get around to playing. And we've got the rest of the components here in a baggie. But as you can see, we have locations where each one interconnects. So yeah, F locks down over, you know, C, A, B, D and C there. Yeah. And some of these are hinged components. That's pretty cool. So make up the buildings. Yeah, really strong, sturdy cardstock. Yeah. Really cool. Like I said, I will build these guys up at a later date and give you a look at them. I'll probably do some photos to add on to the end of the video or on my social medias. Yeah. There we have those. Right. I'll open up the board next. I'll have a look at that. Had to stand up to get this in shot. So yeah, we have the board. It's a 10 by 10 grid we have the different buildings that get placed down, and they even have grooves in the actual board so they won't shift during gameplay, which is pretty cool, I think. And yeah, we got different routes along New York there. So I believe we got the police clock tower where the gargoyles are based, Xanatos' building at the Eyrie there, and 3 other smaller buildings. Got a look over here, part of the park and lake there. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, would have been nice if we had a few more extra buildings, but it's still pretty cool. I think there's a nice little map of New York there. And on the underside, we got the artworks for the different missions. Right, all what's left to do is to look at the plastic components, which is a dice, and those characters. So this is the fun bit. We get to look at the plastic components. So we have our dice. So 5 exclusive dice, which have the lightning bolt wild action, the claw markings on 3 facings, and then 2 blanks. And yeah, each one is the same. Two blanks, 2 hits, and a wild. So yeah, they're pretty cool. They got a nice stony effect there. So that looks pretty cool. Yeah. They'll serve their purpose as game dice. Very handy. But of course we have the awesome 3D components here of the actual gargoyles. I'll just tip them out. So, wings are a little flimsy here on Hudson, and he actually has some pretty chunky mold lines, so he's gonna need a bit of a cleanup, but otherwise pretty nicely detailed there. They got beautiful sort of mottling stone effect on them. Looks good, but yeah, you know me, I'm definitely going to have to paint these guys. Yeah, they'll look a lot better, I think, fully painted. So there's Hudson, Broadway, it looked like he was 2 components, the wings and him, and then they were put together. Even a visible chunk of glue there just on his shoulders. So, not the best assembly then. There's a visible chunk of super glue there. See if I can remove that with a knife. Not too bad on the mold lines for this guy. You got Lexington there, who looks a little goofy. A pretty big mold line going over his head there. Yeah, again, I think they'll look better once they're painted. Brooklyn in that nice dark maroon colour. Not too bad on the mold lines. One going over his nose there, though, quite visible. And down his back as well. We've got a little bit where he has broken off his injection mold. And one going right across his chest and down his arms as well there. Yeah, these guys were definitely just massively put together. And finally we have Goliath for the gargoyles. So again, looks like he has 2 components, and yeah, not done the best put together. Visible chunks of glue there. Not rating these very well for quality. I think probably the best models I've seen for a game were the models from TMNT Shadows of the Past. They were really well done. Some had mold lines, some had visible glue, but weren't too bad. They were a lot better detailed, at least. And finally we have Lisa here, so bright red, and yeah, she looks a lot glossier on camera than she does in real life. But yeah, not too badly detailed, not too bad on the mold line front. Facial features are at least nicely picked out, which is pretty good. Hair could be better, but it's not too bad. It's very fitting. Yeah, all in all, not too bad a figure. So there we have it. Right, I think it's time I bring everything back in, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this little set. So there we have the unboxing for Gargoyles Awakening. Can't say much on the gameplay. I'm going to be doing that in a separate video, so I'm just going to focus mainly on components here. And yeah, good components. The player boards and the storyboards are pretty durable and informative for what you need to know. The rules booklet itself is actually nice and clear as well, goes through everything, so playing should be pretty cool. So yeah, you have your action points, you have your health, special abilities, skills, daytime effects. You can do a number of certain actions, so move, glide, or attack. You have your hero cards, so they have the action cost, a reaction, so there's certain cards you can play as a reaction, which is pretty cool, I think. Hero attacks, so based on either strength or range there. And yeah, each one has specific abilities, so make sure you turn the character sideways. If they're damaged, you flip them over. So Steel Clan and Biker Gang minions have 2 health each. The minion token, flip the minion token to show 1 point of damage, then remove it once they hit 0. So that's pretty cool. That's why I have the 2 sides at least. That's nice. Yeah, healing there, skill tokens. So that's what these little small bits of cross are. And an example here of a hero phase, what they're going to do for Hudson. And an example of the villain phase there as well. And yeah, again, covering the different missions there as well, which is handy, and your build guide for all your different buildings, plus their color coordination as well there. Plus, a quick reference on the back is very greatly appreciated. It's nice that the book is very small. It's not too rules heavy, meaning that gameplay should be nice and quick. Yeah, I really do look forward to playing this. As I said, I'm definitely going to be painting the characters. Oops, sorry, Goliath, I've knocked you over. And yeah, definitely look forward to playing a couple of games over the Christmas period. Then hopefully in the new year, I'll do the second video where I cover how gameplay was, how fluid I found it, how easy I find each of the missions, etc. So that's pretty much all I can say. I'll give a few ratings then. So quality of card components, 5 out of 5 good card components. Quality of plastic components, I'm gonna have to give it a 3.5 out of 5, I think. There's some very visible mold lines and even visible glue on the figures, especially those that are 2 components, which is mostly the bigger gargoyles with their wings as separate components. Goliath even has a similar build to the original Legion Darth Vader, where his head and shoulders are connected at a point on the chest there. And yeah, not the best. Definitely may attempt to dismantle him, as long as they don't do too much damage to it. Other than that, the smaller plastic components are really good. I haven't took them out of the bag, but they look great quality from just inside the bags. Yeah, they look really good. That's pretty much it for the ratings. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for the card, 3.5 out of that for the plastic, giving us a total of 8.5 out of, for this rating, out of 10. So not too bad, really good. Ravensburger are a pretty well done gaming company, and they have surely showed great promise and quality here with this. Just as I mentioned, those plastic standees really do show that they were injection molded, pushed out, and they weren't really given much cleanup. But that's more for us to do anyway. As gamers, it's up to us how we care for our components. And though they have that beautiful motley sort of stone detailing with flecks there, I'm sorry to say I'm going to have to spray these guys up and paint them up to match the cartoon. But yeah, I like it. Looking forward to it. Definitely going to be reliving part of my childhood over Christmas. But what do you guys think? Let me know in that comment section down below. Have you picked this game up yourself? Have you played it? Do you have a fondness for the classic 90s cartoon that is Gargoyles? And if so, do you know that it is available to watch on Disney+? I have watched the first 2 series and started Series 3, but I've been hearing... But Series 3 is sort of where it went downhill. It got kind of silly for some episodes. I was watching the Broadway Goes to Broadway episode, which is where Broadway becomes a film star, and yeah, it just felt really cheesy. The first 2 seasons were definitely the better. But there is talk, of course, of a live-action adaptation. Been in the Whisperverse for quite some time, so hopefully it will come around eventually. So let me know what you thought of it in the comment section down below, and we'll have a good old geeky chat. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time for some more board game reviews. Thank you and goodbye.